Hello everyone, Vass here, and I am working on the Jungle Adventure River Rapids ride in the Six Flags over Norrath build. Since the last video, I have put in the missing bollards that I needed to do. So those are done. And I've gathered up some of the pieces that I needed, and I've got a bit of a headache, so I'm going to probably be very brief with this recording this episode, and might not talk as much. So let's get to it. So first off, I've got one of the pillars in for the station that I want to do. So I'm going to copy that one to these others. That one is the smaller one. So I'm going to put those in, and I'm going to move the last three to the west. Let's see how that works. Okay, need to be 3 more, I think. And that's too far, so let's go 1 back, 1 to the east, and that's too far back, so 0.5, to the west. And a 0.1 to the west. Ultimately, I want it to look like I have it at the front. And that's pretty close, I would say. Looks like it's lined up with the blue here. A little bit past. So let's do 0.05 to the west. Okay, so the tip of the corner is lined up with that line. And over here, it's lined up with that line. So we're good. Okay, so I've got those in place. So now I need to do the second and fourth. And let's go 10 to the south. Okay, it's a bit far. 1 more to the north. Let's do points now. It's a little too far, so 0.05 south. I think it's a sinus headache coming on. The weather's been kind of goofy here, so rainy one day and then hot and sunny the next. Okay, so I've got that in there. So let's make sure the boat can get through. looks like it can. It can, so that's good. Okay, so the next step, I am going to start working on a track. And I want this at max scale. And I'm using the mossy briarwood because the edges of it are what I'm going to be using, which look mossy, which would go with this swampy area. Okay, so I've got that one in there. I'm going to copy this one to this one. And half of that would be 6 for the scale. So I'd move over 6, but that would be too far, so I'm going to move it over 5 to the west. That might still be too far. And I've got the overlap on purpose. So now I'm going to roll these 90 degrees and let's bring it down. Let's do one down. Okay, so 5 was too far over, but I still need to go down. Let's go 6 to the south because I want to get it in the station. Okay, so it's in the station. It looks like it's a little low. So let's do 0.5 up because I'd done one down. Okay, that is pretty good. And let's do 0.2 to the east. Now, ultimately, what I want is to have the distance on this side of the boat for the same for over here. I don't know if it's this one, but we'll try. Nope. So we'll move it back and move this one. Okay, so that one is sticking through here, which is a guide for me. That's fine that it's sticking through. And this one's not sticking through as much. Oops, wrong direction. Okay, there we go. And I don't think the boat is quite centered because I see the edge of the pillar there. And it looks like there's a larger gap here. But the main thing is I want to make sure, you know what, I'm not even going to worry about that because it's going to bounce around through here anyway. So that's fine. So I've got that there. And I'm probably going to need another staircase so people can actually get on. Yeah, I'd rather have it up. There we go. Okay, so people can actually get on to the boat. Okay, so let's copy these. One thing that you want to make sure you do whenever you're in a house building is run into your objects. Make sure that they still have collision, especially since I've sunk these in the ground, just to make sure they have collision. If they don't have collision, then more than likely whenever you zone out of the house and zone back into the house, then those items will disappear and you will have to pull them out using the housing button and collect an item. You have to find it in the list and pull it out, or use the layout editor and pull it out that way. But luckily this house has been fairly decent. The only issue I had was with this arcing curve that is kind of weird whenever you place things. I had to move this back because every time you'd walk up you'd fall through the floor. Because there's an area somewhere over here that arcs around, goes behind the trees here and into the wall, and it makes things where you can walk through certain parts of it. So I've got those copied. Let's load that up. And let's move them 6 to the north. Not sure if it moves that way. And nope, it would actually be 12 to the north, because that's the long end. And it's coming out a bit far, I think. So let's take the whole thing and let's shift it down 4 to the south. Because I'd rather start my curve like here and then curve around and come inside. And what would that be? Yeah, it's a curve. Okay, good. Well, that lined up pretty good. How does it line up over here? It sticks out, that's fine. Okay, so I got my straight edges there. I do need to get in some water here. And I have another roof piece here. So let's copy the one that's flipped. So this one, we will copy it to this one. And we will move it 3 to the south, just so I can see it. Okay, so for the station, for this part of it, I'm actually going to be making it small and angling it into the water. But it's going to have to go south quite a bit more. Okay, so now I need to make this smaller, so let's try 0.7. Okay, that's not bad. And let's see, is it roll? Yes, it's roll, so that's good. And bring it down. And I might have moved it too far. No, I don't see a gap. Actually, it's pretty good. Okay. So it lines up like that. And it's sloping down, not quite touching the water yet. And not pitch. Roll. So now it is touching the water, which made this end raise up some. So let's sink it down. There we go. And let's get the other end of the track here. And I'd moved it 12 the first time. This time I'm only going to move it 11. So move those to 11 south. And there is a reason why I'm only moving it 11 and having the overlap. I am going to now get this one, and this one. So the City of Mist, the roll is basically, it is 79 more than 180, or than 90. So if I did pitches on these, 79. That's too far. Okay, let's see. I might just do this by hand. And an eye. Okay, so if we pitch, actually, you know what? I shouldn't pitch this because, oh yeah, I can have it in the water more, so that'll be fine. Come on. So that'll be fine because I'm going to come off of this, but I need to move this in, this side in. And I will go ahead and bring this one with me. So this one's basically pitch 9.8. So if I pitch this one 9.8, this one I need to move in to the north. I almost had it. Okay, so this one I moved in. Now let's move it up a bit. So it's about half and half. There we go. And they should be close to the same. Okay, so now let's save that. Get a new from difference. And let's scale these down a little bit so I don't get the shimmers on the side. Still got a little bit of shimmer on that side. So let's move these 0.003 to the east. Okay, no shimmers on either side now. Okay, good. So that way it's here for it to come back up. Okay, so I've got my water there. Let's go ahead and do this at 4. Hopefully it won't stick through. And we will roll it 90. Okay, it shouldn't be sticking through. It's not sticking through on this side. And not on that side, so we're good there. And let's bring it up a bit. I don't want the water above the rails. So let's see. It is above the rail there. So if you do it about there, that should be good. So the boat is in the water. Okay, so another City of Mist roof piece. And luckily all this stuff, besides the pillow, is building blocks, so that will help. And let's do I want to, yeah, let's copy this one. And we will rotate it 180. And let's move it 20 north. Okay, 20 north was a bit far and it is poking through. This one is poking through too, but it's okay. Let's move it back. Let's try 3 to the south. Okay, it's a little too far, so 0.5 north. Okay, so that's going through. That should work. It'll slope down, it'll come around, it'll come through here. And all of this in here is going to be through the water and across the stone and across the sand. So I'm not really worried about any more of the City of Mist roofs. I just did those for that area, the station. And then all through here is going to be in the water until it comes back up. So I only need those City of Mist roofs, so I should be good from there. Okay, now let's get these going. And these I will probably make smaller for the curves. And wrong way. Okay, so what I'm going to have to do here is this side's going to have to be smaller than that side because I need to keep the same spacing. So first thing I want to do is line up the side that's not going to change with that one. So let's go with 1 for now. So we'll go 1 south, 1 west. And again, 1 south, 2 west, because it looks like it needs to go over more. And let's go 1 west. Now where are you? You're right there. So I need to bring you in. So can we do 0.1 southwest? Okay, almost there. Let's try it again. Hopefully not too far. And it was too far. So we'll do 0.05 northeast, the opposite corner. And it's hard to tell because these are so dark, but I think I've got it. Yep. If I look down at the sand, it looks like they join. I don't see anything in between. Okay, that's good. And this is my second set. So I'm going to go up on it 0.003 just so I don't have shimmer where they overlap. And then the next one, if I copy from here, I'll go down 0.003. Okay, so I've got that in there. This one's lined up, but it is going to be too tight. So this board will have to go in, and then that will go in, and it will go smaller. Actually, I might not, yeah, I'll have to make it smaller. Okay, so now I need to, let's copy from here, because then I don't have to sync it anymore. And we are going to rotate it -90 on both of those. And let's move it 12 north. Okay, so main thing is I need to get this one set with that. Actually, you know what? Let's do this differently. Copy and paste. Copy and paste. Select those two, group modify these. -90 around a point, which is going to be hard to tell which point, but we'll just say here. So -72, wait, no, +72 and 41. 72 and 41. Okay, we'll rotate, apply, and save. Let's see if that helps. Okay, so it's in there, so let's go north 12. And what I want to do is line this railing here with that one there. Oh. Mr. Pillow, you are in the way. So let's get a new from difference. 1, 2. And let's move it north 2. Let's try moving it 1 northwest. Okay, and now 1 north. And these I can't move at specific increments because I didn't get a true center point when I rotated around a point. It was just a point that I was standing at. So let's do 0.1 east a couple, and then north a few. Getting there. North a few more. And a little too far, so south 1. And east 1. Okay, so let's do 0.02 southwest. And again. That's really close. It looks like it needs to go south. And then east. Southwest. Nope, southwest was too much. So let's put it back northeast, and we will do 0.5 southwest. Okay, that's pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, so now I know this space in between these two boards is the same space that it is here. So the boat will fit in between the two. So that will work. But the boat needs to fit in between here. So this has got to be smaller and go in between. This has got to go that way some, and this one's got to go that way some. Which means this is going to have to be smaller. Because I've got to be able to get my boat in between here. So rough approximation. A little close. Okay. So that's basically rough approximation of that. So what I can do is I can take this one. Oh, let's do it a different way. Save that the way it is, put it back, shrink this one. Because of the fact that I used 45-degree angles, I can copy this and then move it at 45-degree angle. So 6 southwest, and it keeps the alignment of the ends together. Of course, that's way big. So let's go 1 northeast, and still big. So 0.5 northeast, and that's too tight. So 0.2 southwest. Okay, that works. I mean, that's pretty close. And from here, if I wanted to, I can shrink these down to where they hide in, then raise them up. Okay, that will give me the tip of this one here, and the tip of it on this side would line up with this. So that then I can just move this back until this tip meets that tip. This one, you could just move it back, but the fact that I'm going to have to do another curve, I'm going to have to shrink it down again. So for this one, since I've already got it lined up with this one behind me, I can shrink it until it's lined up and raise it till it's lined up. It's a little bit big. Might have to use the layout editor. No, that's okay. And then that is a tight curve. I can't do 45 degrees there. That's gonna suck. This is gonna have to be a smaller piece than this, like half that size. But you get the point. What I might actually do, let me see, mossy. These are stairs that I've rolled 90 degrees, but if I take a narrow divider, it's already thicker and it's got the mossy green on the top. So I could technically, center point's at the bottom, I could flip it 180, that way the center point will be at the top, and sink it down almost to the ground. And it shouldn't disappear because the center point's above the ground. And then use that in here, and that would probably work. So that's what I should do, but I don't think I have mossy. I have stair, I have tall, I have triangle, I have railing, tall column. No, I do not have any narrow, so I will have to make the narrow to finish that part. And then I might make a couple of talls because maybe I could do the same thing on this side, use a tall divider so it doesn't come out all the way if it's scaled at 1 instead of 6, because of course, or 12, 6 or 12, because then it would be massive. But if I leave it at a scale of 1, like, let's see, that's narrow. Hey, there we go, I've got a tall. So if I used a tall, basically I could get this in here. Oops, I moved it a little bit, but you get the point. I can put that in there like that, and it's like half the length. Actually, it's a little less than half. I can make it half the length, and then I can start my next curve from here so I can line up in here. And then the narrow divider over here, made the same thickness of this, would be half the size of the narrow divider, or the tall divider. Because that is pretty close to the thickness. Oops, not that one, the tall one. But basically like that. And it comes to there. And then it would start curving again from here. And then go in there. So that, I think, is what I'm going to need to do. And of course, fill this in with water, because it just needs the water from the water here, up through here, water through here, and water to the water here. And then after that, it's fine. Build your own rivers. Okay. It doesn't have to be perfect, because I'm going to be putting these in there to give it the rapids. So that will work. Before I end the video, let me move this one back so I get this one in where it needs to be. See, get rid of the point. So 2 south. Let's go for that. And it's a little too far north, so now we can use our point 2 south. And point 02 south. Okay, so we're pretty good there. Not perfect alignment, but that's fine. Okay, so I've got that. Now, the next thing I want to do, I know you've been eyeing these over on the side, wonder what's going on with this. And now I'm going to show you what's going on with this. These are going in here. Okay, it's not showing through. Yes, it's showing through just a little bit. Okay, so I've got that one in. So let's take this one and we will copy here. Actually, let's see. Let's get all three of those and this. Okay, so now if I do create object, circle, spiral, river, boat. Why not? Okay, so my center point, I'm going to use this, but I'm going to have the up down as this. And copy, wait, no, not that one, this one, because that's even lower. So copy that, and that is going to be my Z. So paste that there, and then I'm going to copy my X, paste it there, copy my Y, and paste it there. Total angle is going to be 360, full circle. Ooh, radius, I don't know. Let's do 2. Number steps, 4, because it's going to be 4 chairs. 4 chairs per car. Don't need Z increase or any of that stuff. Item ID is this guy here. I will not be using it from the crate. Let's create that. Let's get rid of these guys. So they will be replaced by the 4 new ones that I did. Let's see how this comes out. Cross his fingers. Well, considering that they're there, that's good. But they are still a little low. Let's see. Let me get new from different so I can get you. Okay, you are a scale of 1.15. Okay. So let's delete you. Let's delete the group. Let's try this again. We will do a scale of 1.15 and we will move this guy up 0.4 instead of 0.2. Well, yeah, 0.4 instead of 0.2. The radius might be okay, but it does need to have either a 90 or a negative 90 rotation starting. Okay, and apply and load. Okay, it would have been a negative 90. It is too high. So delete the group. So it's a little too high, so we'll do 3, and this will be negative 90. Now we can try it. Okay, radius is too big, but other than that, it looks pretty good, I would say. Okay, so let's delete this. Oop. Delete the group. So radius, let's do 1.5. And we will save and load. How are you looking? You're still sticking out a little bit. Delete. Delete. Okay, 1.4. It's just playing around with it until you get it just right. But the good thing is you're doing 4 at a time. So that's so close. But I'm picky. Too picky. Okay, so 3, 5. Oh, the medicine's kicking in. My headache's feeling better, but the video is getting long, so probably going to end it shortly. Let's move you out of the way. Okay, so I thought these chairs were perfect. They give that oriental theme that applies to Gorowyn, so I thought that they would be perfect. Now, I think I made them too high. So, let's do 1, 2, 3, and 4. And let's go down. Let's see. Let's go down 0.1. Whoa. Oh, I didn't do a point. I did a decimal. So let's go back up because it defaulted to 1. And then we'll do 0.1 down. If you accidentally hit comma instead of decimal, then it will default it to 1 and move it that amount. So that's what I did, but simple fix. Is that good? Yeah, that's good. Any further down it will start to show through. Okay, so there's my boat. I like my boat. Now let's go ahead and make my other boat. Get it out of the way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I've got 10 here. Okay, lovely red cushion. Copy and paste to you. And these guys, I can do this. Meet in the middle. Okay, so it's the bottom 4 and the second one there. So let's move that 12 north just to get it out of there. And we'll do the same thing, 12 north again. Okay. So I've got those out. Now I have a choice. It looks really nice in the center too. I have a choice at this point that whenever I put the boat, the second boat in, I can have it going up under the waterfall, or I can have it out here by the raptor, just past the waterfall by the siren. I could have it over here by the gator. It just depends on what I think. Oh wow. Okay, if you look from under the water, you can tell that the mouth is closed. But if you look across the water, it looks like, with the reflection, it looks like the mouth is open. That's kind of cool. So I could have it anywhere else on the track. I just want one here for role-playing aspects and so on. Okay, so I am going to finish up with these two pieces here. Actually, I think I'm going to call that the end of the video, so I can prep and get the other pieces that I need. So I will see you guys in the next video.